Trust the process. It's a phrase you've probably seen on Instagram captions, motivational posters, or heard in passing from someone trying to lift your spirits. But let's be real. When your life feels like it's unraveling, when your plans are falling apart, when everything you hoped for is delayed or denied, those words feel empty. They sound like a band-aid on a deep wound. But what if I told you that those exact moments of chaos, the heartbreak, the confusion, the setbacks, aren't detours? They're the exact path to becoming who you're meant to be? Here's the truth. Your struggle isn't random. It's not proof that you failed or that you're off track. It's confirmation that you are being transformed. We all crave growth. We want to rise, succeed, evolve. But what most people don't understand is this. Growth doesn't feel like success at first. It feels like breaking. It feels like doubt. It feels like loss. Because before you rise, something within you must be challenged, reshaped, and rebuilt. And that's why trusting the process is so powerful. Not because it guarantees a painless journey, but because it helps you recognize that pain has a purpose. In a world obsessed with instant gratification and quick results, trusting the process feels radical. But it's also the only way to build something that lasts. Whether that's a dream, a relationship, a mindset, or a version of you that can stand the test of time. You might be walking through a storm right now. You might feel like everything is falling apart. But listen closely. This is not the end. This is the part of your journey that builds your strength in silence. It's the part no one claps for, no one sees, and no one celebrates. But it's also the part that will set you apart. So in this video, we're going to go deep. We're going to break down why your struggles aren't proof of failure, but signs of transformation. We're going to unpack how the darkest seasons of your life are actually the soil where your future self is growing. And most importantly, we're going to remind you that you are not weak for feeling lost. You are not falling behind. You are being built for something far greater. If you've ever doubted your strength, if you've ever questioned whether the pain is worth it, if you've ever begged for clarity, but were only met with silence, then this message is for you. Because the world may not see it yet, but your struggles are your superpower. And once you learn to trust the process, you will realize you were never breaking down. You were always breaking through. Let's begin. The struggle isn't a sign you're failing. It's proof you're becoming. Let's start with the lie the world often sells you. If you're struggling, you're doing something wrong. That's not truth. That's pressure. Because the reality is, struggle is not a sign of failure. It's the evidence that something powerful is happening inside you. Think about it. A diamond is formed under extreme pressure. Muscles grow by being broken down first. And a butterfly doesn't emerge without first fighting its way out of a cocoon. Struggle is not your enemy. It's your refiner. It shapes your strength. It reveals your resilience. It stretches the parts of you that would otherwise remain small, hidden, or unused. The reason it feels so difficult right now is because you are in the middle of a transformation. You are outgrowing the old version of yourself. And that's never comfortable. You see, growth doesn't feel like a victory march. It feels like confusion. It feels like being lost. It feels like questioning everything you thought you knew about yourself. But that discomfort, that disorientation, that is exactly what happens when you're stepping into a new identity. You are shedding layers. You are breaking patterns. You are shifting mindsets. So if you feel like you're breaking apart, good. It means you're making space for something better. Struggle challenges your patience, your faith, your willpower. But that's not to crush you. It's to introduce you to yourself. The part of you that doesn't give up. The part of you that keeps showing up. The part of you that may cry, may stumble, may fall, but still refuses to quit. You wouldn't be feeling this resistance if you weren't leveling up. You wouldn't be facing this chaos if your soul wasn't evolving. You're not being punished. You're being prepared. The pain you're facing now is shaping the person you're becoming. And that person, that future version of you, they're powerful. They're clear. They're unstoppable. But to get there, you have to trust the process. Not because it's easy, not because you always understand it, but because deep down, you know, struggle isn't the end of your story. It's the middle. It's the part where things look uncertain, but growth is happening underneath the surface. So instead of asking, why is this happening to me? Try asking, What is this struggle building inside me? Because once you realize that the challenge is not meant to destroy you, but to reveal you, you stop resisting and you start evolving. You are not failing, you are becoming. And this struggle, it's proof that the process is working. Pain is the pathway to power. Nobody enjoys pain. It's uncomfortable, it's heavy, it's real. But here's what most people don't understand. Pain is not just something you survive. It's something that, when faced with courage, transforms you. Let's get honest. The greatest lessons you've learned in life didn't come during the easy times. They didn't come when everything was going your way. They came when you were on the ground, wondering if you could keep going. They came when your heart broke, when your plans failed, when your confidence shattered. That pain, that fire, that storm, it changed you. And that change, if you allow it, is your access to real power. Because pain has a way of waking us up. It shatters illusions. It strips away the noise. It forces you to confront who you really are beneath the surface. You don't find strength on the sunny days. You find it when the nights are long and no one else sees your battle. You find it when you keep going even though every voice inside says, stop. You want to know why pain can become your superpower? Because it develops the part of you that can't be taught in books. It teaches empathy. You understand others because you've been there. It teaches depth. Your soul no longer lives at the surface. It teaches gratitude. You learn to appreciate joy when you've tasted sorrow. And most of all, it teaches resilience. The unshakable belief that you can rise again no matter how far you fall. Pain stretches your capacity. It pulls you past your limits. It shows you that you're not as fragile as you once thought. And when you come out on the other side, you carry a kind of power that only pain can build. Now let's be clear. You don't have to love the pain. You don't have to smile through it or pretend it doesn't hurt. But you do have to respect what it's creating in you. Some people get bitter in their pain. But others, they get better. They use the pain to build. They let it sharpen their vision. They turn the wounds into wisdom. So here's the shift. Instead of asking, why me? Start asking, what is this pain revealing about me? What strength is this moment uncovering? What power is rising in me that I never would have found any other way? Because once you stop resisting the pain and start mining it for meaning, you begin to realize that your greatest power is being born right there, in the very place you thought would break you. Pain is a path. Walk it with purpose. It may hurt today, but it will empower you tomorrow. Growth looks like chaos before it looks like clarity. We all want growth. We crave breakthrough. We chase success, transformation, and elevation. But what nobody talks about is how messy it gets before it makes sense. Growth doesn't come wrapped in clarity. It doesn't arrive with certainty or perfect timing. Growth feels like chaos. It's the season where nothing seems to make sense. The path ahead is foggy. The direction feels blurry. And the more you try to control it, the more uncertain it becomes. But here's the truth. Just because it looks chaotic doesn't mean it's wrong. Chaos is often the evidence that growth is happening. Think of nature. Before a seed becomes a tree, it must be buried in the dark. It has to break open. Its structure has to completely collapse. And it happens underground, unseen. That breaking, that falling apart, it's not destruction, it's transformation. You're no different. There are moments in your life when it feels like everything is shifting. Relationships are changing, routines no longer serve you, old dreams lose their color, and it's tempting to panic, to think, I'm losing myself. But in reality, you're outgrowing the version of you that was never meant to stay. The confusion you feel right now, it's not proof that you're lost. It's a sign that you're evolving. Think about it. A caterpillar has to dissolve into a shapeless mess before it becomes a butterfly. It doesn't transition with elegance, it transforms through surrender. And that's what chaos calls for. Surrender. Let go of the belief that you need to have it all figured out. Let go of the pressure to be polished while you're still in progress. Let go of the illusion that clarity comes first. Clarity is the reward for trusting the chaos. It comes after you walk through uncertainty. It comes after you keep showing up even when you feel unqualified or unprepared. Growth is not linear. It's a spiral. Some days you'll move forward, other days you'll circle back. But all of it is movement. All of it matters. So stop waiting for things to feel perfect before you believe you're on the right path. This messy middle is sacred. It's where character is formed. It's where courage is born. It's where you start trusting something deeper than logic. You start trusting the process. The day will come when everything clicks, when the struggle makes sense, when the dots connect. And you'll look back at this season not with shame, but with pride. Because you stayed, you trusted, you grew through the chaos. And that's what made you unstoppable. You were never meant to stay comfortable. Let's be honest. Comfort feels good. It's safe, it's predictable, and it rarely challenges you. But here's the problem. Comfort zones are growth killers. You weren't born for average. You weren't created to live a life stuck on autopilot, just going through the motions. You were born to stretch, to evolve, to become more. And that's exactly why life keeps pushing you out of what's comfortable. Because nothing great is ever built in the safe zone. The truth is, most of your growth happens when you're forced to do things you never thought you could. It happens when you're thrown into the unknown and have no choice but to dig deeper. It happens when the ground shakes and you're forced to build a new foundation. That's where greatness is born, not in ease, but in the moments that challenge everything inside of you. If you're feeling discomfort right now, that's not a mistake, that's your calling. It's life saying you're meant for more. It's your inner self whispering, you've outgrown this version of you. And yes, stepping outside of what's familiar is scary. But you know what's even scarier? Staying the same. Living a life where you never reach your full potential. Settling for a life that's less than what you're capable of, all because the unknown feels uncomfortable. Understand this. Growth requires risk. It requires faith. It requires the courage to let go of the shore and trust the tide, even when you can't see where it leads. You weren't designed to stay small, you were designed to stretch. You were meant to evolve through discomfort, because pressure is what turns coal into diamonds. When you embrace discomfort, you train your mind to be flexible. You begin to realize that fear and growth go hand in hand. If something scares you, it's often the very thing that's calling you forward. Think about the moments you're most proud of in your life. Were they easy, or did they come after you took a risk, after you stepped into something uncertain? The gym hurts before the gains show. The business fails before the breakthrough arrives. The healing feels like chaos before it becomes peace. So instead of running from discomfort, lean into it. Let it teach you, let it stretch you, let it shape the next level of who you are becoming. Because staying in your comfort zone might keep you safe, but it will never make you strong. If you want to evolve, if you want to unlock your superpower, if you want to trust the process, you have to get uncomfortable on purpose. It's not the easy path, but it's the one that leads to transformation. Your struggles are shaping your story. There's something deeply powerful about your story. Not the highlight reel, not the polished parts you share with the world, but the messy middle, the battles you're fighting, the moments when you wanted to quit but didn't. That's where your real story lives, and that's where your power begins. The truth is, people aren't inspired by perfection. They're inspired by truth. They're inspired by resilience. They're moved by those who've been through the fire and still found the strength to walk out. Burnt maybe, scarred possibly, but never broken. Your struggles are not in vain. They are shaping you into someone others can look to and say, if they made it through that, maybe I can too. Every breakdown, every disappointment, every hard season, they are chapters, not your whole book. And those chapters matter because they give your story depth and your words weight. You see, when you rise after falling, you carry more than just survival. You carry wisdom, you carry compassion, you carry a light that can guide others through their own darkness. That's why your struggles are your superpower, because they're building something that's not just for you. They're building the version of you that the world needs. A version of you that speaks with authenticity. A version of you that leads not from ego, but from experience. Think about it. How many people have helped you heal without even knowing it? A video, a message, a story you stumbled upon during a low moment, and suddenly you didn't feel so alone. That's the power of a story told with honesty. Now imagine someone out there one day hearing your story. Imagine them hearing the battles you faced, the heartbreak, the rejection, the nights full of silent tears, and feeling seen because you were brave enough to share it. One day your scars will speak. One day, so Mayan will say, Because of you, I didn't give up. And in that moment, all of the struggle, all of the pain, all of the moments you wondered if it was worth it, they'll make sense. But here's the key. You have to keep going. You have to keep writing, even when it's hard, even when the story doesn't make sense yet. Because every day you rise, every time you push through, you're turning pain into purpose. Your struggle is not your identity, it's your testimony. So trust the process. Your story is being shaped for something greater. And one day soon, it will be the very thing that sets someone else free. Strength isn't loud, it's quiet endurance. When we think of strength, we often picture something loud, bold, dramatic. But real strength? The kind that builds legacies and moves mountains, it's often quiet. It's not always visible to the world. It doesn't always roar. Sometimes strength looks like simply getting out of bed on a hard day. Sometimes it's the soft whisper that says, try again tomorrow. See, we live in a world that celebrates external wins, trophies, titles, likes, applause. But what about the inner victories? What about the moments you didn't quit when no one would have blamed you if you did? That's the strength most people never see. And yet, that's the strength that transforms lives. Quiet endurance is showing up when you're tired. It's believing in a future you can't yet see. It's walking through heartbreak and still choosing to love again. It's failing and having the courage to start over again and again. You may not feel strong right now. You may feel broken, exhausted, or even invisible. But here's the truth. Every day you carry your pain with grace. Every day you keep going without recognition or reward. Every day you hold on to hope in the middle of your storm. You are embodying real power. Strength isn't always visible from the outside, but you can feel it within. It's the fire that refuses to go out, even when the winds of life try to extinguish it. It's what you've built through every challenge you faced, not through motivation or inspiration, but through discipline, faith, and grit. And yes, it's hard. There will be days when it feels like nothing is changing, days when you question your path, your purpose, even your own worth. But those are the days that shape you the most. Because anyone can smile when life is easy, but it takes true courage to keep moving when everything inside you says stop. So honor your cue. You yet strength. You don't need to prove anything to anyone. You don't need to be loud to be powerful. You don't need to be seen to be significant. Your strength is not in how loudly you speak. It's in how consistently you show up, in how patiently you keep planting seeds, in how deeply you believe that your time is coming, even if no one else sees it yet. And trust me, your time is coming. So hold your head high. You may not have everything you want right now, but you are becoming everything you were meant to be. Endurance is your superpower, and with it, you are unstoppable. Every season has a purpose, even the storms. Life doesn't always move in straight lines. It flows in seasons, and each one brings its own rhythm, its own lessons, and its own purpose. There are seasons of growth where everything feels aligned. Doors open, energy flows, progress is visible. And then there are seasons of stillness, seasons where nothing seems to move, no matter how hard you try, where your efforts feel invisible, your results feel delayed, and your heart feels heavy. But hear this clearly. Just because a season feels barren doesn't mean it's pointless. Just because you don't see the fruit yet doesn't mean the roots aren't growing beneath the surface. Every season serves you, even the storms. Think about nature. In spring, things bloom. In summer, they thrive. In fall, they begin to shed. And in winter, everything goes still, quiet, almost lifeless. But that stillness is not death. It's preparation, it's rest, it's reset. You are not meant to bloom all year. You are not designed to be in constant forward motion. There are seasons where your soul needs to retreat, reflect, and rebuild. And sometimes the storms in your life, the chaos, the pain, the uncertainty, are not sent to destroy you. They are sent to clear space. They tear down what's no longer aligned. They uproot what's been silently holding you back. They shake you, not to hurt you, but to wake you. The problem is, when we're in the middle of the storm, we forget it's a season. We think it's the end, but it's never the end. It's just a turning point. When you're in a tough season, don't rush it. Don't numb it. Don't try to skip over the discomfort. Sit with it. Learn from it. Ask it, what are you here to teach me? Maybe it's teaching you patience. Maybe it's forcing you to slow down. Maybe it's exposing what no longer fits in the next chapter of your life. Whatever it is, trust that the season has purpose. Because here's the truth. You don't become wise in summer. You become wise in winter. You don't find faith in the sunshine. You find it in the darkness. When you can't see what's ahead, but you keep walking anyway. So instead of resisting the season you're in, start working with it. Stop wishing for a different climate and start cultivating what you can in this one. Whether you're in the storm or the calm, whether you're building or breaking, this season is part of your becoming. It may not feel beautiful now, but one day you'll look back and realize it shaped you, it refined you, and it prepared you for everything that's coming. So trust the season and trust that spring always follows the winter. You are becoming everything you were meant to be. One day you'll look back and everything will make sense. The struggle, the silence, the pain, the setbacks, all the moments that felt like they were breaking you. You'll see them for what they really were, the making of you. Right now, in this very moment, you may not feel powerful. You may feel like you're walking through fire, but that fire isn't here to consume you. It's here to refine you, to burn away the doubt, the fear, the smallness you've carried for too long. To reveal what's always been underneath, a version of you that's stronger, wiser, and more unstoppable than you've ever imagined. You are becoming. And becoming isn't easy. It's raw, it's vulnerable, it's lonely sometimes. Because growth often requires separation. From old patterns, from old environments, from people who no longer reflect your future. You're shedding the layers of who you thought you had to be and stepping into who you were always meant to be. That version of you doesn't chase validation. They walk in purpose. They don't crumble under pressure. They rise with grace. They know that everything they've walked through wasn't a punishment. It was a preparation. And here's what's beautiful. The struggle didn't steal your power. It revealed it. It showed you that even when you were on the floor, you still had the will to get up. It showed you that when everything around you was uncertain, you still held on to hope. It showed you that your spirit is unbreakable. That's what makes you powerful. Not perfection, not ease, but the fact that you kept showing up when everything inside you wanted to disappear. And now you're here, still standing, still growing, still moving forward. You don't need to have all the answers. You just need to trust that the process you're in is molding you for a greater future. You're not stuck, you're being shaped. You're not failing, you're evolving, and you're not lost. You're being led. One day you'll look at the mirror and see someone who didn't just survive, but someone who turned every setback into a comeback. Someone who carries scars, not as shame, but as symbols of strength. Someone who walked through fire and came out glowing. So let this be your reminder. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are becoming. And everything you're going through is preparing you for a version of life that's bigger, richer, and more aligned than you ever thought possible. Trust the process. Because your struggle isn't just part of your story, it's the part that gives it power, and your best chapters are still being written. As we reach the end of this journey, let's bring everything home. You've heard the phrase, trust the process 1,000 times, but now you know it's not a cliche. It's a mindset, it's a lifestyle. It's the unwavering belief that even when life doesn't look the way you imagined, it's still shaping you into exactly who you're meant to become. The pain, the setbacks, the detours, they aren't signs you've lost your way. They're proof that you're on a path most people never have the courage to walk. Because transformation isn't neat or predictable. It's messy, it's uncomfortable. It often looks like falling apart. But what you're really doing is falling into alignment. Every struggle you've faced has built a deeper version of you. One that feels things more fully. One that loves more fiercely. One that fights harder for peace, for growth, for truth. And the beautiful thing, you didn't need to be perfect to get here. You just had to be willing to keep walking, willing to keep showing up, willing to believe that this moment, no matter how hard, is preparing you for something greater. It's easy to look around and feel behind. It's easy to scroll through someone else's highlight reel and think you're losing. But listen, you are not behind. You're not failing, you're building in silence. Some seasons are loud and victorious. Others are quiet and sacred, but all of them matter. All of them are part of your rise. So the next time you're tempted to quit, to doubt, to shrink, remember, this process is making you unshakable. It's sharpening your mind. It's deepening your faith. It's giving you the kind of strength the world can't give and can never take away. You don't need to have all the answers right now. You don't need to fix everything today. You just need to trust that you are growing, even when you can't see it, especially when you can't see I. Because the most powerful transformations happen underground, in the dark, in the silence, in the moments no one else sees. But you see it, you feel it, you know that something is shifting. So don't rush it, don't compare it, and above all, don't give up on it. Your story is still unfolding, your breakthrough is still building, your strength is still rising, and one day soon, you'll look back at everything you walked through and say, I didn't understand it then, but now I get it. The struggle didn't break me, it revealed me, it didn't weaken me, it awakened me, it didn't stop me, it shaped me. So here's your final reminder. Trust the process, because your struggles are not the end of you. They are the beginning of something powerful, beautiful, and entirely yours. Your superpower has been inside you all along, and now it's time the world sees it.